Hello guys, and don't we all just love dreams? Honestly, the adventures you can be taken away in are just so amazing. However, there is one setback. We can just never remember dreams, and it is so annoying. If you're lucky, you may remember one dream you had last night, maybe even two, but most of the time within the first few minutes of us waking up, or even as soon as we've woken up, we've completely forgotten the crazy adventures we'd just dreamt. On average, we have around 5 dreams per night occurring every hour or two. That's a lot of imagining our brain is doing, and yet we can rarely remember them. But what if there was a way that we could remember not just 1 or 2 dreams, but every single dream we not only had that night, but every night? As if the dreams we have become memories, like everyday memories we have when we're awake. What would it be like? Would it be awesome, or would it be scary and even potentially dangerous? Well, today on Got Questions, we're going to be diving into the question of what if you could remember every dream? But before we go any further, just make sure that you've clicked that red subscribe button down below and have your notifications turned on so that you get notified every time we answer a brand new question. So, firstly, what really is a dream? A kind of complicated way of putting it is the state of consciousness characterized by sensory, cognitive, and emotional occurrences during sleep. The dreamer has reduced control over the content, visual images, and activation of the memory. Or in other terms, it's visual images we've created while sleeping. Dreams mainly occur during the REM sleep stage, which stands for rapid eye movement, which is very, very deep sleep, where your eyes and muscles make many small movements. During this time is when most dreams happen. Since we have most of our dreams during the REM period, if we wake up during this time, it's when we're most likely able to remember them. However, this is also the reason why you're more likely to remember if you have a nightmare rather than just any normal dream. Nightmares are created by vivid and sometimes terrifying images. With these comes fear and anxiety, and it fully becomes a nightmare when the emotions are so intense it forces you to wake up. Because we're waking up during the REM stage, it means it's more likely you'll remember a nightmare rather than a normal dream, which doesn't have the high intensity of emotions to wake a person up. However, even if you woke up during the REM stage, it still doesn't necessarily mean you'll remember the dream later on in the day, and the same goes for if you wake up at any random time. Researchers don't know exactly why dreams are easily forgotten. We forget almost all dreams after we've woken up. Some may still be in our memory for the first 5 minutes, and some may stay in for 10 minutes, but very soon we forget them, and only remember ones usually if we've woken up during the REM stage. The forgetfulness is most likely due to neurochemical conditions in the brain that occur during the REM sleep. A way to look at why we forget dreams is to think of when we're in the REM sleep, our bodies may shut down the systems in our brain that create memories in the first place. We may remember only those dreams that happen just before we wake, when certain brain activities are turned back on, enabling us to remember the dreams. Although, to fully remember a dream, it usually has to have some huge impact on the person. For example, like the one we used before, a nightmare, so that your brain keeps on remembering it as you think about it. Although, there are some people who believe we never forget our dreams, we just don't know how to access them. Dreams may be perfectly stored in our memory for all we know, hundreds of them. So, what would happen if we managed to unlock the door and remember them all? Now, there is tips on how to recall your dreams. For example, waking up without an alarm as you're waking up naturally. Once the alarm goes off, your brain focuses on turning off the annoying sound, not on your dream. Another one is dream playback, where if you think about the dream right after waking, it may be easier to remember later. Another one is reminding yourself to remember, where if you make a decision to remember your dreams, you're more likely to remember them in the morning. Before you go to sleep, remind yourself that you want to remember your dream, and then you're more likely to remember once you've woken up. And finally, if you're a sound sleeper and don't wake up until the morning, you're less likely to remember your dreams, compared with people who wake up several times in the night, simply because they're probably waking up during the REM period. So, for this what if question, let's say there's a world where all these techniques I've just discussed are fully used and all dreams are remembered. What would society be like? Firstly, our dreams would now be memories, like every normal day where we create memories from everything we do, say, think, hear, and more. So let's look at where the memories are actually stored in the brain. Memories are stored in the hippocampus, which is a very complex brain structure embedded deep in the temporal lobe. Since dreams are visual images we can see, the average adult's brain can hold digitally 1024 terabytes, which is the equivalent to 2.5 million gigabytes. The brain can't come full, but it would be like everyday life. You'd remember what you did in that day, and then maybe years later, you'd only remember certain key moments. On one hand, it could be amazing. It would be memorizing a whole other life you'd literally imagined. This could help us find new ideas and ways of living life, as we'd be using more of our imagination as we could remember what we've imagined when we've had no distractions. This could come in handy with expanding creativity to build new projects, create new plays and books with the arts, find the scientific reason or cure for something that we couldn't find before simply because we were too focused on the facts and not looking for another angle that using the imagination will solely give us. And there's other endless possibilities. Remembering all our dreams would enable us to see more clearly in some aspects, as dreams are basically an expansion of our wider imagination that we don't always use in real life. However, there could be many problems with this what-if scenario. The situations I've just described were using memories of our dreams as an advantage, and we could do that because we knew they were memories from a dream. One type of dream a person can have is called a lucid dream, where while you're having the dream, you know it's a dream and not real. People may know these memories are still dreams and were never real. However, some may see it slightly differently. In this other scenario, there could be complete chaos. Some say the reason we don't remember dreams is because from remembering the dreams, we may not be able to distinguish between what was a dream and what was an actual memory. This could make people believe certain things they did in the dream were real, as they can remember them, when in reality, it was all just a dream. Hurtful memories can have long-lasting mental health effects such as depression. Since every nightmare may be remembered fully, many people could struggle with more anxiety and depression, and live more in fear as they'd assume this was their actual memory and not just a dream. On the other hand, many people could become unaware of the dangers of society. Many dreams are full of crazy adventures where unrealistic scenarios happen. If people truly believe dreams are their actual memories, they may believe all sorts of things could be possible as they did it in their dream, when in reality, they're just not. This could lead to them endangering themselves and possibly others. There's hundreds of thousands of scenarios that could play out simply because people couldn't distinguish between what's a true memory and what's a dream, as they would be so similar. So maybe let's kind of be glad right now that we don't remember every single dream, but who knows, we may all be dreaming right now. That's a crazy thought for you, but for another video and a completely other question. But guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, make sure that you smash the like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tell us in the comment section down below what you think of this question and whether you think it would be awesome to remember all your dreams, whether you think it would be kind of creepy and kind of scary. Make sure you leave all your thoughts on the question down below, and make sure you add any other questions you want us to answer here at Got Questions also down in the comments. But as always, we've been here on Got Questions, and make sure you return every time you've got questions.